The woman was just preparing to hand the company over to her adopted daughter who had returned from studying abroad. She never expected that the very next moment the adopted daughter would appear before her with her biological mother. She completely ignored the woman's feelings and openly introduced the biological mother she had just acknowledged. She claimed that this woman was her real mother, yet she addressed the adoptive mother who raised her for 20 years only as aunt. Hearing this, the woman's heart instantly turned cold. She had raised the girl for 20 years, yet the girl had never called her mom even once. But the biological mother appeared and immediately announced her identity in front of everyone. She acted as if she were the rightful owner. However, no one knew that the woman's care for the adopted daughter came from a promise made 20 years earlier. Back then, the adopted daughter's father was gravely ill and held the woman's hand tightly before passing. He pleaded with her to take care of his daughter until she was 18. He even offered to give her the company as compensation. If she did not want to manage it, she could sell it. Looking at the dying man on the hospital bed and the helpless little girl beside him, the woman softened and agreed on the spot. From that moment, she took on the heavy responsibility of raising the girl and saving the company. However, despite the woman's constant care, the adopted daughter never once called her mother. Over the years, the woman turned a failing company into a thriving industry leader worth billions. This day was the welcome banquet for the adopted daughter returning from overseas. The woman planned to hand full control of the company to her during her coming-of-age celebration. Yet the secretary felt uneasy about the adopted daughter's growing attitude toward the woman. And indeed, everything sadly happened just as she feared. The adopted daughter brought her biological mother back. She ignored the woman's feelings and bluntly said the woman was only the aunt who had cared for her. She even suggested letting her biological mother, who had zero business experience, serve as the company's vice president. The woman tried to persuade the adopted daughter, telling her she had just returned and was unfamiliar with company affairs. She said that during the coming-of-age ceremony in 3 days she would personally teach her how to run the company, then gradually pass all authority to her. She also reminded the biological mother that leaving back then and suddenly returning to take over the company was inappropriate. But the scheming woman pretended to be wronged, claiming she left back then only to avoid burdening them. Now she only wanted to reunite with her daughter. The adopted daughter was completely swayed by her biological mother's sweet words and fully sided with her. She publicly contradicted the woman, declaring that she was the company's president. She said she had the right to choose the vice president. She even accused the woman of refusing to give up power. The secretary could not stand it anymore and stepped forward to defend the woman. But the adopted daughter harshly scolded her and claimed no one could change her decision. At this moment, the woman finally understood that no matter how much she gave, the adopted daughter had never truly accepted her. To fulfill her promise to the girl's father, the woman reluctantly agreed to hand over the company at the retirement banquet in 3 days. Once the biological mother moved into the house, her true nature was completely exposed. She acted arrogant, greedy, and casually rummaged through the woman's belongings. She immediately set her eyes on an evening gown in the woman's closet. The woman angrily drove her out. Then the scheming woman slandered the woman in front of the adopted daughter, stirring up conflict. The brainwashed daughter grew increasingly dissatisfied with the woman. She began blindly interfering in company affairs. She ignored the long-term stability of the company. To cut costs, she canceled employee vacation benefits and overtime pay without permission. She even felt proud, as though she had contributed something valuable. The woman told her that such decisions would chill the employees' hearts and destabilize the company. She asked her to immediately withdraw the order and compensate the staff. But the adopted daughter refused and believed the woman was deliberately targeting her. She even claimed her decisions did not need the woman's approval.